topic of Ekadashi. So first let us start with Nirjala Ekadashi. There are 26 Ekadashis. Each month has 2 Ekadashis, so 12 months have 24 Ekadashis. But Purushottam month, which is like the leap year according to Vedic calculation, 1 month, extra month called Adhik Mas or extra month. So in that Adhik Mas there are 2 extra Ekadashis, so together there are 26 Ekadashis. And out of that, the 14th one is Nirjala. And this actually begins from Margashirsha, that means November, December, the month. Actually the Sanskrit months, the Vedic months begin practically from the middle of the English month. Therefore it goes into 2 months. November, December is the month of Agrayan or Margashirsha. And from that the Ekadashi is counted. So accordingly, 14th Ekadashi is Nirjala, which takes place in the month of Jyeshtha. Vaishakh and Jyeshtha are the 2 months of summer season. And the Jyeshtha comes in between June and July. And it's the hot season, summer. In India, those who are in India, you can well imagine how hot it can be. Even in Switzerland, which is a very cold country, we are feeling the heat of the summer. Here the weather is quite hot actually. So anyway, so this, in the middle of the summer, this Ekadashi is Nirjala Ekadashi. Nirjala means the Ekadashi that is meant to be fasted without even drinking water. Ekadashi should be generally fasted like that, without food and without water. But in ISKCON, Prabhupada did not set such a lofty and austere standard, because Prabhupada was dealing with mostly Westerners who are not really accustomed to austerities. Therefore, Prabhupada's standard was very liberal. Prabhupada's general attitude was very compassionate. So, therefore Prabhupada allowed the devotees, or rather Prabhupada made it a point that devotees can take prasad, but fast from grains and beans. I'll come to that, why it is important to fast from grains and beans. Now to go to the Nirjala Ekadashi. Although every Ekadashi is meant to be fasted without even drinking water, but this particular one is advised that we fast from completely, even from water. The story goes like that. Bhima had difficulty observing Ekadashi because another name of Bhima is Brikodar. Brika means wolf and Udar means belly. The wolves are famous for being hungry. So Bhima is very famous for his appetite. Brikodar means ravenous appetite, like an wolf. And like Bhima, when they were in disguise and they were hiding in Ekachakra Gram as a wandering Brahmanas, they used to maintain themselves by begging. And when they would collect the food, the half of it was to go to Bhima, and the rest half was shared by other 4 brothers and Mother Kunti. And so Bhima is very fond of eating. Therefore, Bhima used to find it difficult to observe Ekadashi like most of us. And so he asked Vasudev, what should you do, grandfather? So then Vasudev actually gave this concession to Bhima, that at least one Ekadasi, this Nirjala Ekadashi, you fast, and by fasting this Nirjala Ekadashi, you will get the benefit of fasting all the other Ekadasis. Just one Ekadashi a year will give you the benefit of fasting the Ekadashi all the year. And that's why this has been prescribed, that just as the concession was given to Bhima, we also take advantage, like just fasting one Ekadashi properly, we get the benefit of fasting all the Ekadashis in a year. So, in the Ekadashis, even one should do Achaman very carefully, that even Achaman can be drinking water. So one should be very carefully doing the Achaman, taking just a few drops of water on the palm and doing the Achaman. And Charanamrita also, one should take just a few drops. Like the point is, one should not take advantage of doing Achaman and drink water, and drinking Charanamrita, like drink a glass full of Charanamrita, saying that, well, we are simply taking Charanamrita. And so one should be very careful, and so that is the Nirjala Ekadashi. The way Ekadashi is meant to be fasted or observed is that, as I said, one should abstain from even water and drinking, and also fasting completely. So when one does that, when one fasts for the 24 hours like that, from sunrise to sunrise, or you can say Brahma Muhurta to Brahma Muhurta, then one gets the full benefit. When one fasts from the whole day, and eats something after sunset, he gets half the benefit of Ekadashi. And when one eats at midday, in this way, one gets the quarter of the benefit of Ekadashi. Therefore, we should be very careful. Like Ekadashi is the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to free us from our sinful reactions. So we should make it a point to take full advantage of this benefit, the full advantage of this opportunity that the Lord has created for us. So this is the special purpose of observing Nirjala Ekadashi. Nirjala means no, Nir means no, Jala means fasting. Jala means water. So Nirjala means fasting even from water. So that is the way one is meant to fast. So now I'll go to the Ekadashi in general. You see, Ekadashi means 11th. So the 11th day of the movement of the moon. See, Vedic calculation is according to the movement of the moon, whereas the Western calculation is according to the movement of the sun. So according to Vedic calculation, the moon goes from full moon to new moon, and then again new moon to full moon. So these are known as two pakshas, or two wings, or two sections of the movement of the moon. And it goes from Prathama, new moon, to it begins first day, second day, third day, like it is counted like Prathama or Pratipad, Ditya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashmi, Navami, Dasami, Ekadasi. Dasami is 10th, 11th is Ekadasi, then Dwadasi, then Trayodasi, then Chaturdasi, the 14th day. And then it comes to the new full moon. The moon becomes, it's called Purnima. So 15 days in this way, the waxing period of the moon, and then 15 days of the waning period of the moon. So this way a month is consisting of 30 days. So 30 days a month divided into 2 pakshas consisting of 15 days each. And the 11th day is called Ekadasi. So there are two narrations of the appearance of Ekadasi. So the one narration is from Brahma Vaivarta Puran. So this goes like when you see when the Lord created, like along with creation also came sin. People started to act in a wrong way, and as a result of that they would accrue sin. So with all the sin, a personality appeared, as all the sins personified in the form of Papa Purusha. So this Papa Purusha is the personality who is responsible for giving punishment or miseries, afflicting living entities miseries with the sinful activities. And the body of the Papa Purusha is generated from different types of sinful activities. Like when the killing of a Brahmana causes the head of the Papa Purusha. And taking intoxication causes the eyes of Papa Purusha. Then stealing gold, stealing gold causes the mouth of Papa Purusha. Having sexual intercourse with the wife of the Guru causes the ears of Papa Purusha. Killing of one's wife causes the nose of Papa Purusha. Killing cows causes the arms of Papa Purusha. Stealing wealth causes the neck of Papa Purusha. Abortion causes the chest of Papa Purusha. So you can see in this way there are different sinful reactions, sinful activities are giving rise to the body of the Papa Purusha. Now, due to sinful reactions, people are, along with that, yes, Krishna also created Jamaraj. Jamaraj is meant to judge living entities according to their sinful activities and pious activities. So when the living entity dies, according to his sinful activities, he is judged by Jamaraj. He is taken to Jamalaya. As you all know, the Jamadutas come at the time of death and takes the living entity. The gross body dies, but the subtle body remains. And subtle body is the embodiment of one's karmic reactions. The way we act, that gives a shape to our subtle body. So at the time of death, the living entities who are very sinful and very attached to their gross body, to their material existence, They don't want to leave their body. Therefore, Jamadutas come with noose and whips in their hands, and they put the noose around the neck of the subtle body of the living entity and drag him out of the body. He doesn't want to come out of the body, so they whip him. In one hand, they're putting a noose around their neck, they pull him, and then they beat him with the whip. So this is how they drag the subtle body out of the gross body for living entities who are very attached. Devotees don't have to worry about that, because the devotees, because they have taken shelter of Krishna, the Jamadutas won't come to them. Jamaraj advised the Jamadutas that they shouldn't go near the devotees. And even if Jamadutas come, and even if the devotees are taken to Jamalaya, the abode of Jamaraj, the devotees will not be afraid, because the devotees will be delighted to see Jamaraj, one of the 12 Mahajans. So devotees will be delighted to have the darshan of Jamaraj and offer obeisances to him, and naturally Jamaraj also will treat them in a different way. So anyway, but generally living entities are dragged out of their material body, gross body, and taken to Jamalaya, and Jamaraj there judges the living entities according to their activities. Jamaraj has a clerk. His name is Chitragupta. So Chitragupta records all the activities of all the living entities. Now apparently it appears to be, it's impossible. How can one person keep record of all the activities of the living entity? But nowadays we are seeing that the activities of the people are being recorded in computers. The data are there. Everybody's data are there. Like if a simple computer, a simple human being can keep records of so many people in the computer, what to speak of Jamaraj's clerk, Chitragupta, who is specially empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can keep record. We should be very careful how we act, because all our activities will be recorded, and sinful activities is liable to punishment, and that because of that we may be dragged to Jamaraj's abode, and there will be judged and punished. So in Jamalaya, the sinners are punished. And one day Krishna went to the abode of Jamaraj, because as you know, Jamaraj is one of the Mahajans, one of the great devotees of the Lord. So Krishna visited Jamaraj. Jamaraj was very pleased to greet Krishna. He washed his feet, offered Padya, Argha, and asked to sit down, and he worshipped him, offered him Bhoga. And then at that time Krishna heard the cries, the inhuman, terrible cries of agony coming from the southern side of Jamalaya. So he asked Jamaraj, what's happening? Like, why do I hear these cries of agony of these people? So then Jamaraj told him that this is where the living entities, the sinners, the sinful living entities are being punished. And due to the punishment due to the sinful reactions, they are being punished. So then Krishna wanted to see, and he saw the various kinds of naraka. Their living entities are being tortured in a terrible way due to their punishment, due to their sinful reactions. due to the sinful activities. So Krishna decided that these are my creation, these are my creatures, and they are suffering. So I must do something to alleviate their suffering condition, to free them from the suffering condition. So Krishna right there, he created a personality, a beautiful young woman. And she is Ekadasi. She is Krishna's internal potency. And Krishna made arrangements that if anybody observes Ekadashi on this particular day, which is the 11th day when she was created, he'll become free from all sinful reactions. Krishna in this way makes various arrangements to free the living entities from the sinful reactions. And like in Bhagavad Gita also, he made this arrangement, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Give up all your so-called pious religious activities, so-called duties, and just surrender unto me. Give up all your so-called responsibilities and duties. Just surrender unto me. Then I will deliver you from all your sinful reactions. So similarly, Ekadasi is another arrangement of Krishna to free the living entities from the sinful reactions. Sarvadharman Parityajya may not be possible, but observing Ekadasi is easy. Just observe Ekadasi and you'll be free from all your sinful reactions. So in this way, Krishna made this arrangement. And this was also projected through Dharma Shastras and through the sages and saintly personalities who are very compassionate, who also want to help living entities to become free from sinful reactions. So when Krishna made this arrangement, this was broadcasted all over the universe. That just observe this Ekadasi, the 11th day of the lunar movement, and you'll become free from all your sinful reactions. And so this way people just started to become free from their sinful reactions. Now, because there was no sin, the sin personified, Papa Purusha, he became emancipated. Because there was no sin, so he was dying. So one day, Vishnu saw that sin is staggering towards him. And so he asked him, Sin, why are you in this kind of condition? So Sin said, look, my Lord, you're my creator also. Therefore, you also have the responsibility to maintain me. But unfortunately for me, the day you created the Ekadasi, since then, all the living entities are observing Ekadasi and becoming free from their sinful reaction. And as a result of that, see what's my condition. There is no sin in the universe. So my existence is practically becoming terminated. Now you are my creator, and it's your responsibility to maintain me also. Therefore, please do something for me to survive. So then Krishna said, okay, from now on, all the sins on the Ekadasi day will enter into the food grains, into the grains and beans. Now, grains actually means the things that grow from plants. When the crops become ripe, then the plant dies. So that is the definition of grains. the plants, when the harvest is ripe, it automatically dies. So wheat, rice, maize, barley, corn, all these fall in this category. Even the pulses, dal, beans. Beans also, notice, when they are ripe, the plant dies. So that is why they fall in the category of shakshya. So on this day, on the day of Ekadasi, Krishna arranged, or Krishna, for the sake of Papa Purusha, made the arrangement that all the sins will enter into grains. And those who take grains on that day, although they may not have physically committed those sins, they will be liable to those sinful reactions. So that is why on Ekadasi's days, we so strictly observe that we don't take grains and beans. Because all the sins will enter. Taking the grains on that day, one will actually take the sins, although they haven't committed those sins. And therefore the devotees are very careful. On the Ekadasi day, the devotees don't even take Mahaprasad, although Mahaprasad is free from sinful reaction. Mahaprasad is free from any karmic reactions, but still devotees don't even take Mahaprasad also on that day. So devotees should be very careful not to take grains and beans on that day. So that is the history behind the appearance of Ekadasi and why we abstain from grains and beans. So now these Ekadasis are also known as Hari Vasara. Hari means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasara means day. Vasara means a day. And so it is the day of Hari. Is the day of Hari. This day is so dear to Hari that it is considered to be his day. Therefore, observing Ekadasi immensely pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And there is another narration of the appearance of Ekadasi. That is, there was a demon called Mura. Then Mura demon was so powerful that he defeated all the demigods. Indra, Chandra, Varun, Surya, Vasus, Maruts. These are different demigods. All these demigods were defeated by Mura demon. They drove them out of the heavenly planet. And he assumed the control of the universe. Actually, demigods take care of different universal affairs, like rising of the sun, rising of the moon, controlling the wind, controlling the air, so controlling rain. So these are controlled, all these universal affairs are controlled by the demigods. Now Mura, defeating the demigods, drove them out of drove them away from the heavenly planet, which is their abode, which is their place of residence. And he took over the heavenly planet. And so, being completely distraught, the demigods then approached Lord Shiva and asked him what they should do. Like, and this particular demon has driven them out. They asked him to help them. Lord Shiva expressed his inability. He said, look, I can't do anything, but you can go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. So you go to him and you tell him to do something about it. So when the demigods then went to Narayan, Jagannath, and appealed to him, please do something about this. And so when Narayan heard that, he became very, very angry. He said, who dares to interfere in my arrangement? And the demigods controlling different affairs of the material nature is actually Krishna's arrangement. So to disregard that arrangement is disregarding Krishna. So Krishna was very upset, so he said, okay, you all pick up your weapons, and where is the Mura demon? Who is he? So they went to his abode and attacked him. And Mura was extremely powerful, and he was also supported by millions of other asuras, demons. And so when the demigods attacked them, Mura, becoming very angry, he also countered their attack, and the demigods ran away, being unable to confront them. So these demons then attacked. The only person that was standing there was Hari, Narayan. But Narayan at that time just released his weapons. And his weapon, millions of arrows coming out of from his bow, killed all those demons. And at that time, Mura decided to confront him. So that is the Vedic way of fighting. The leaders don't fight at the beginning. They send the lesser powerful ones to fight, and then greater and greater strength begins to come. And so finally Mura was the only one left. So Mura started to fight with the Lord. And to his great surprise, the Lord saw that his weapons were not being effective at Mura's. So all his weapons became ineffective. So then they started to fight with bare hands, wrestling. And they fought for a long, long time. And still Mura couldn't be defeated by the Lord. So finally become totally exhausted, the Lord retreated to Badarikashram, and he was so tired, he went to a cave called Hima. He went to the cave called Himavati, and Hima means snow. That place was completely covered by ice. A 96 yojana long cave, but had only one entrance. So Lord entered there, and he fell down, he fell asleep. And at that time Mura entered there, also chasing him. He also came there. And the Lord was sleeping, so Mura thought that now I'll take advantage and I'll kill my enemy, Hari. So when Mura was about to attack the sleeping Lord, then a beautiful young woman appeared from the body of the Lord. And she stopped Mura. And they fought. Now Mura's weapons now is totally ineffective to this young girl. And so in this way, all Mura's weapons were exhausted. And Mura now just came to attack this woman with bare hands. Now this is also another law of Vedic way of fighting. Like, if the enemy doesn't have a weapon, then one drops his weapon also and they fight with bare hands. So naturally this woman, young girl, is not going to fight hand to hand with Mura. So she just, with her razor-sharp weapon, cut the head of Mura, killed him. So when the Lord woke up, he found the Mura's dead body there, and he saw this beautiful woman. So he asked, "Who are you?" Then she narrated the whole story. That when the Lord was asleep, this demon came to attack him. He thought that now he would kill him. So she appeared from his body and fought with this demon and killed. So the Lord said that even I could not defeat that demon, and you have defeated this demon. So ask for any boon. In this way you have protected me. So you ask for any boon. So then she said that from now on, give me the boon that from now on, whoever observes this vow of austerity, of fasting, abstaining from frivolous talks, bathing and worshipping the Lord, and staying up the whole night, singing the glory of the Lord, he'll become free from all sinful reactions. So the Lord granted that boon. And he also told her that since you have appeared on this day, the day of Ekadashi, you will be identified as Ekadashi. Your name will be Ekadashi. So this is how Ekadashi began. And this is the first Ekadashi, whose name is Utpanna Ekadashi. Utpanna means generated or produced. So because she appeared on this day, in this month of Agrayan, that's the first Ekadashi that is observed, Utpanna Ekadashi. The 26 different Ekadashis are known as Utpanna, Mokshada, Safala, Putrada, Shattila, Jaya, Vijaya, Amalaki, Papamochani, Kamada, Baruthini, Mohini, Apara, Nirjala. This is the Nirjala Ekadashi. Jogini, Shayana, Kamika, Pavitra Ropini, Aja or Annada, then Pravartini or Parsha, Indira, Pashankusha, Rama and Utthana. So these are the 24 Ekadashis of 24 months. The Adhik Mas, the Purushottam month, has 2 Ekadashis. They are known as Padmini and Parama. So this is how there are 26 different Ekadashis. Hare Krishna. So observe this Ekadashi very nicely. And take advantage of this wonderful arrangement that Krishna made. Just observe one day Ekadasi every fortnight, and the benefit that he'll derive from that is inconceivable. Especially today, Nirjala Ekadashi. Just fast from water, observe it properly, and you'll get the benefit of observing the Ekadasi in this way for 24 Ekadasis in a year. And also medically also it says that fasting twice a month is very, very good for health. Because this way your system gets complete rest. Digestive system gets complete rest. Generally we not only eat, generally we overeat. And that excess food becomes toxin. When the food that is not digested in the stomach becomes toxin. And this toxin accumulates in the body and gives rise to various diseases. But when you fast, then our fire of digestion burns out. First it burns out whatever food was there from previous days in the stomach, and then it starts to burn the poisons also, toxins also in the body. Therefore, fasting is a very good detoxifying process. So in this way, clinically also you can see that it has its own benefit. And so all these, it's not that we should fast for physical well-being, but point is that while we are deriving spiritual benefit out of it, physically also there is benefit from it. Although our purpose is to derive spiritual benefit, but we can also have the other benefits, physical benefits, material benefits. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any question?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Yes. So if anyone has any questions on the teleconference, you can just dial *6. That way you can ask a question over the telephone. And Guru Maharaj, if you can just let the Mayapur TV viewers know that they can write a question on the chat.
Okay. So the observers, the viewers of Mayapur TV, you can write your questions if you have in chat.
Yes. Guru Maharaj, you'll be pleased to know there's now 100 viewers on Mayapur TV. 100
Okay.
Plus the 60 in Ujjain. Yeah.
Okay.
There's at least 160 people watching.
Okay. Very good.
So, Guru Maharaj, we have a couple of questions. Just 1 second. Radha Piyari Mataji asks what if someone cannot do Nirjala Ekadashi today? Cannot do Nirjal today? So if they can just manage Ekadashi but eating, fruits.
It's a written question?
Yes.
I mean, if I answer, she will. Okay, Radha Piyari, I'm very happy to hear from you. So often I think of you and I hope you're doing well. Okay, as you asked, if one can't do the Nirjala Ekadashi, then what should one do? Then he or she should try to observe the 23 other Ekadasis properly, doing Nirjala. The choice is yours. Or wait for the next year's Nirjala Ekadashi.
Okay.
Is there some other questions also?
Yes. Anantadev Prabhu should have them on his Skype. So does he have them?
Do you have any questions in the Skype?
Yes, Lord. There's one from Hartik Agrawal. He says, Guru Maharaj Bandhavat Pranam. Guru Maharaj, we have heard that in Puri they don't observe Ekadashi. How can we understand that? What should we do if we are in Puri?
Yeah. There is a saying that in Jagannath Puri is such a holy place that one doesn't need to observe Ekadasi. That's why on Ekadasi's day there's a big rush in Jagannath Puri that they don't have to observe Ekadasi. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not approve that mentality. He said our business is to please the Lord, not take advantage of some loopholes. So as I mentioned, like although Mahaprasad is free from sinful reactions, and here Jagannath Puri is the place where there is no need to observe Ekadasi, but still we observe Ekadasi because it is Harivasa. It is a day which is very dear to the Lord, and for the pleasure of the Lord we observe Ekadasi, not for any other benefit. Our business is simply to please the Lord. Thank you.
There's a couple more that Anantadev Prabhu have.
Ananta, there's some more questions.
Yes, Lord. One says, in one class we said both pious and sinful activities are bad because for getting fruits of pious activities and punishment for sinful activities, one has to come to the heavenly hellish planets. By observing Ekadashi, one can be free from all sinful deeds. My question is, how can one be free from getting the fruits of pious deeds and subsequently attain pure Krishna Bhakti?
Very good. Actually, piety hasn't been mentioned in this respect because pious activities everybody want to enjoy, because generally people want to enjoy. People don't want to suffer. Sin gives suffering, therefore they want to get rid of sin. But piety gives enjoyment, so everybody wants to enjoy. So they don't want to get rid of their piety. But in the long run, both sin and piety are in the bodily platform. Therefore they are an impediment, because the bodily platform prevents us from becoming Krishna conscious. So, like even if there is pious activities, we offer the pious activities in the form of service to the Lord. Say for example, due to pious activity one gets wealth. So when a devotee gets wealth, what does he do? He uses it in the service of Krishna. Due to pious activity one becomes famous. What does he do? He uses his fame in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead and spreading Krishna consciousness. Due to pious activities one gets beautiful body. So this beautiful body becomes attractive to others. So he uses that attraction to promote Krishna consciousness. So in this way, due to whatever pious result is there, a devotee uses that in the service of Krishna. That is a devotee. But he doesn't remain attached to either the suffering or the enjoyment. That is the attitude of devotee. Sukha dukhe samakrutva labha labho samajaya jayo. In happiness and distress, in profit and loss, in victory or defeat, he remains unperturbed because he simply takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Any other question?
This one is a question from Janaka Raj Guru. He says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, please get my humble obeisances. One follows all the Ekadashis.
One
follows all of them. What is the value of following this one so strictly?
Yeah. Well, if you're observing all of them so strictly, then you observe this one also strictly. That goes without saying. But the point is, if you cannot observe the other Ekadasi strictly, at least observe this Ekadasi strictly. That is the point. If you are observing all other 25 Ekadasis strictly, then you will naturally observe this one also strictly. The logic cannot be that I will observe all other Ekadasis strictly, but this one I won't strictly. Is that a good argument or a good way to think? Naturally, no. Any other question?
Yes, we have a question from Rasananda Prabhu. He says, we're extremely happy to have your darshan on live TV. Around 70 devotees are watching in Ujjain. Many students came from Indore and Bhopal to observe the Nirjala Ekadashi.
Wonderful.
My question is that sometimes we see that due to fasting, it becomes difficult to attend the Mangalarti in the morning program on the next day. Guru Maharaj, how do we balance with both?
Well, try to attend, but if you can't, what can be done? You mean staying up the whole night? If you stay up the whole night, then attend the Mangalarti and then go to sleep. Any other question?
Question from Chitta Hari Krishna Prabhu. Says Hari Krishna Guru Maharaj, Karuna. When should we take water? After 12 a.m. or after sunrise?
Fasting meaning until the next morning. And by the way, the Paran times are there. Say, for example, Ujjain Paran tomorrow is from 5:41 to 10:13. I'm sure you all have seen that. Ujjain Paran time is 5:41 to 10:13. Then Mumbai Paran is 6:02 to 10:27. Kolkata is 4:53 to 9:23 a.m. Delhi is 5:24 to 10:03 a.m. London is 3:43 to 9:16 a.m. Switzerland, Locarno, where we are, is from 4:33 to 9:49 a.m. So in Vaishnav calendar, you'll get the Paran time from your location, for your location. So that is the try to break your fast. So drink water after observing the day of Ekadasi, and at the time of Paran you can drink some water.
The next question is from Raja Shekhar Prabhu from Sydney. It says, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. What happens when Dwadashi day happens to be a day of fasting, like any other special occasion of Vyas Puja? Do we break the Ekadashi fast and carry on with the next fasting day on Dwadashi day?
Yeah. The thing is that when Ekadasi and Dwadashi come one after the other, then the day of Ekadasi fasting covers the fasting the next day also. Next day's fasting. Like for example, we have occasions like that, like Baraha Dvadasi, Baman Dvadasi. So we are meant to observe fasting on Baraha Dvadasi and Baman Dvadasi. So what we do is, we fast the Baman Dvadasi fast also on Ekadasi day. Because you can't consequently fast for 2 days. Because fasting also involves breaking the fast. So when you are breaking the fast, then the Ekadasi, you can't fast. You have already broken the fast. So that is why the fasting is observed on the day of Ekadasi. The fasting of Dwadasi is observed on the days of Ekadasi. Any other question?
There's a question from Sucharya Mataji from Dallas. She says, if we follow Ekadashi strictly according to Srila Prabhupada's instructions, will the family members who have not taken initiation attain any benefit?
Yes, some benefit they derive. They derive some benefit, no doubt. But it's better that they fast also.
Another question more from Denise from Ujjain. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please tell my humble obeisances. Which is the best attitude while observing fasting?
Which is the best attitude of observing fasting? Yeah. The best attitude to observe fast is to give pleasure to Krishna. We are doing it simply to please Krishna. This is the day we are supposed to spend our time in glorifying Krishna, chanting His holy name, worshipping Him, and other such activities.
There's another question from Keshav from Chandigarh. He says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please tell my humble obeisances. Maharaj, we told that you can start fasting from Brahma Muhurta to Brahma Muhurta. Can we eat food or even drink water before Brahma Muhurta?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. The way to observe fasting has been described that you observe, you eat on Dasami day at the time of sunset. But don't eat after that. Not that, 4:30 the Ekadasi Brahma Muhurta is starting, Ekadasi is starting, and at 4:15 I have a big meal in the morning. No. Generally, it is not just 24-hour fast. It is actually 36-hour fast, at least. The latest food you can take is the day before at the time of sunset, not after sunset.
A question from Bhajendra Krishna from Ujjain. Question is, sometimes we see devotees who are sick taking Mahaprasad and Ekadashi. Is it okay, or they should strictly not take grains even if health is bad?
Yeah, if the health is bad, they should fast even more. If the health is bad, why should one eat? And especially grain on Ekadasi, that cannot be an excuse at all, as I said. Rather, it is better to fast when one is sick, because fasting is good for health.
Another question is from Shivam from Ujjain. Says, Krishna is indirectly responsible for all the creation, so why he pretended that he does not know what was happening to the person in the hellish planet?
It is his pastime. Krishna sometimes acts in such a way as if he didn't know. Because if he acted as all-knowing, then there won't be any room for pastimes. If Krishna acts as the Supreme Personality of Godhead all the time, then the demons won't be there to fight with. Therefore Krishna actually plays that role, just to give pleasure to the devotees. Any other question? That's all.
Ganga Narayan Prabhu from Ujjain.
Yeah.
My question is, latest, at what time we can drink water to observe Nirjala?
Actually, I have to check it. I think Haribhakti Vilas says that one can drink water before he starts the fast on the day, early in the morning. That I have to check. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And I was very happy to be with you all. And devotees from Ujjain, I also miss you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes,